Hey there, David Risley here with Blog Marketing Academy. I want to talk to you about Backup Buddy, which is a really important plugin for you to have. What it does is it does database backups and actually full backups of your WordPress blog. And this is an extremely important function. This is not something that you want to forget about or depend on your web host to do for you. I've been burned. I've done this. I've been in this business for 14 years now, and you can't go 14 years in this business without having been burned by something going wrong with the server or a script screwing up and it messes up your database. Or yes, sometimes your crap just gets hacked. Things happen and you need to have backups. It's just extremely important. It's one of those things like literally the one time that you get burned by not having a backup, you will swear right then and there you will never let it happen again. Trust me. So, with that being said, Backup Buddy, really powerful little plugin. It's actually a really robust plugin. It works really well in terms of doing automated or manual backups for WordPress. So let's go over to my screen and let me show this thing to you. So this is the main page. When I click on Backup and Restore, you can see some of the database, some of the backups that I've done. Now, there's two types of backups here. One is that you can do a database-only backup, which is going to get basically everything in your database. This includes all of your pages, posts, settings, categories, everything. It'll all be there. Now, you can also do what's called a full backup, where you're getting everything, and this includes all the files, themes, any media files that you have set up in WordPress. It downloads and backs up the entire damn thing. Now, realize that obviously that can be a lot bigger. As you can see, about 30 days ago, I ran a full backup, and it's about 183 megs in my case. The database is about 15 megs, about 15 megs as of today. So there's a big size difference there, and obviously those numbers are going to depend quite a bit on your personal blog and how many things you have set up and how long you've been running it. I personally am running a database backup pretty routinely because I have my media files backed up anyway. But still, I do manually go in there and run full backups every now and then. Now, if you need to restore anything, you've got what's called Import Buddy, where you can go ahead and restore any backup to your blog. And there's also an area in there for migration. So if you want to move your blog from one place to another, you can do that stuff with Backup Buddy. Now, Repair Buddy is something that I haven't used a whole lot. Let's see, I don't even know how to get to it, actually. I can tell I don't use it a whole lot. I think what it does, it basically allows you to repair some odds and ends inside of WordPress. Now, obviously, it's just not something that I've ever used, as you can tell. Now, remote destinations. This is something that's really cool. You can actually have this thing set up so that when it runs a backup, it will obviously store it locally on your server, but you can also have it back it up to Amazon S3, Rackspace Cloud Files, Dropbox. You can have it email you the backup as an attachment. You can FTP it up to another server. So these are all things that can be done automatically, and it's really cool and important because if something happens to your actual server, but yet all of your backups are stored on that same server, then you can still be at risk. The whole idea here is that you want to have redundancy. You want to have backups that are not only local, but they're also stored somewhere else. So if anything happens, you've got it there. In my case, what I have it do is it backs up, and then it automatically puts the backup as a zip file over into my Dropbox account. And when it's on Dropbox, it sends it via the internet to Dropbox, and then obviously with the way that Dropbox works, it automatically syncs that backup down to my computer. So therefore, I've got basically 3 levels of redundancy on every backup. I've got the one on my actual server, I've got the one up on Dropbox servers, and I've got the one on my personal computer. And in fact, being that I have multiple computers all connected to the same Dropbox, then basically I've got my backup on every single computer that I own. That's about as redundant as you can possibly get. Now, if you have one of the free Dropbox accounts, then you can also set it up to send your backups into Amazon S3, and that's a lot cheaper in the long run. I happen to have a paid Dropbox account, so I can keep a whole bunch of stuff in it, so I don't really worry about space, but S3 is also an option that's pretty cool. On scheduling, you can do this to run automatically, which is definitely something that I recommend for you. I just set up this job where you can see I'm running a daily database backup. It's going to save it to Dropbox. It's also going to save it locally, so that's fine. And it'll tell you when it's going to first run, when it's going to last run, blah, blah, blah. And you can set these things up pretty easily. You can do malware scans on your blog with Backup Buddy. I don't use this very often, but it's there. But as you can see, it's pretty robust, and I've got a license that allows me to run this thing on multiple blogs. And that's what I would recommend that you do if you have multiple blogs is get the license so that you can actually run this thing on all of your sites, because you want everything to be backed up, and you can have all these things running in automatic, setting the backups into S3 or Dropbox or what have you, and you never have to worry about backups again. The only time you'll ever again have to touch this is if you have to import something or move a site from one place to another, whereas you have to deal with your backups at that point. So that's it. That's Backup Buddy. I would definitely recommend it. There's another option out there called Wordpress. I've not used that. I have used Backup Buddy. I think it works really, really well, and I would highly recommend it to you. All right, talk to you soon.